Ahoy there, listeners, and welcome to another episode of the Captain's Horror Meltdown. My name is Cammie, and I will be your captain on this journey, and I'm joined, as always, by John, who is our ship. So we are on a ship.
Back on the mission.
You're just joining us. We're back on the ship. We are back in the chain. We're back on the ship, and John, as always, has a role to play on the ship.
What could this be?
Yeah, he is our underground drug synthesizer.
Okay.
You're kind of like Timothy Leary or someone like that on the boat. You make all our drugs.
Of which there are many.
Unbelievable amount of drugs.
Yeah, and this podcast would be probably, there'd be more of them if it wasn't for the drugs.
Well, exactly. Every day's crazy.
I think we take like one day off a week for podcasting, but the rest of the time it's just like drug-fueled chaos.
Exactly, totally. That's why the ship just sort of basically sails around in circles all the time. We've got no idea where we are.
Ever-decreasing circles. We're probably going to hit our own arse at some point.
And you were, we'll find out when we watch this, but you were very excited to watch this because it gave you some new ideas for new drugs to synthesize.
Absolutely. And it was a real eye-opener. A real eye-opener.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, thanks for joining us. We are back on the chain, and the next one on the chain is Bliss 2019, which we'll get into in a second. But we've managed to narrow down our chat to pretty generally slim pickings.
Usually, sometimes it gets a little bit out of control, but
it feels like we should probably address something this time round, eh?
Yeah, like the true horror that befalls us.
We're rapidly approaching a full-on early 80s Italian post-apocalyptic scenario.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Where, just to date this, we're now, schools have all closed.
Yeah, we're
pubs
talking.
Have all
we
closed,
are
cinemas are closed.
Friday the 20th of March. At the minute,
we are ball deep in the coronavirus.
Yep. With no, it's just going to take its course by the looks of things.
Yeah, no end in sight. I lost my job this week, and I'm self-employed. I lost my job. Mm-hmm. You're self-employed. You've had all your jobs cancelled.
Yep. So it's been a absolute. I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, I've probably mentioned it a few times, but I'm mostly a wedding videographer. And so yeah, I think when the things really hit, which was was it a week ago? Maybe if that.
A week ago, things started to get tasty. My job got cancelled on Monday. Things were pretty hairy over the weekend.
Yeah, I think it was basically
the tail end of last week.
Yeah, I think this week is when it really kind of started to hit for me, and I know you kind of made the decision to take Esme out of school a bit early. But Rachel was still working, although she was working kind of half in the office and half from home. Now she's fully working from home. And I was like, yeah, we could maybe just take Alexandra out. And then the chaos hit me, and it was just like constant emails, constant phone calls, people cancelling dates. Like what is my, what does your contract say? What's your view and what do we do? If I want to reschedule, how does that work? And it was just like, it's just fucking constant madness. And like every person's sending like maybe 5 or 6 emails a day just to me. So God knows how many emails we were sending to all their suppliers.
Jesus.
So yeah, it's just like, I can't take Alexander out because I'm literally dealing with this when I wake up to the moment I go to bed. So yeah, he's basically been in school most of the week.
God.
So yeah, absolutely. So I think I'm looking at, certainly, obviously, March have all cancelled, April's all cancelled, May have started cancelling, June have started cancelling, July have started cancelling.
Fuck.
Some they're kind of, most of them, they're all kind of rearranging. So at the minute, it's like trying to find dates where they can get dates at their venue and try and get all the suppliers back on board. I've already lost one wedding altogether because the date they put up, I'm booked for another wedding, which madly they booked for June next year. It was like, wow, good luck with that. I'm the same as you. I'm basically unemployed for an indeterminate amount of time.
Yeah, it's mad. Insanity.
Yeah.
But, as we've been discussing all day, we are amongst the people that I feel are being sensible in the situation, and we are avoiding social contact.
Yep.
We are self-isolating. We are not wanting to spread the disease. Unlike, it would seem, the majority of
every
the
other
fucks
cunt
in this whole country. You're like, I'll be fucking fine. Be no bother, I'll be fine. Meanwhile, 600 and odd people died yesterday. And
one day.
Insanity.
And there's people just jaking around pubs here, wandering about.
God, well, the sun came out today. It's just
nightmare.
Fucking deadly.
Yeah, if that happens in Scotland, then basically everyone comes out in the streets. Doesn't matter what's going on. Like,
you can't keep Scots inside on a sunny day.
Nope, absolutely not. I mean, it's
that's fine in the countryside. You've got a garden. I've got a garden. You can go and sit in the garden. That's fine. But what if you're in a bunch of tenement flats in the middle of Glasgow?
Yeah, you just
going to go out, get a carry out, and head to the park.
Absolutely,
carnage.
So yeah, it's just mad. Like even like St. Patrick's Day, Rachel was saying she was in the office that day, I think, and she said there was people spilling out of pubs at like 11 o'clock in the morning. It's just like, what is going on? We are fucked. We're all fucked.
Oh, well, we are definitely fucked.
Yeah.
It's wild though. Like, I mean, I was like, we was talking to someone not long ago, and we were talking about the sort of the key things that have happened, like in terms of technology and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like that. There's that whole thing that if you took someone that was from like 1850,
you're right,
and put them into like 1950, their heads would just explode with all the technology, the amount of advancements, electricity and all the rest.
Yeah.
If you drove a horse and cart, suddenly you're driving a car, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If you took someone from 1950 and brought them to now, they'd be like, yeah, most things are pretty much the same. There's not really been that many big things that have happened. So we're talking about like, what are the big things that have happened? And obviously the internet is the big one in our lifetime.
Yeah, mobile technology, I guess.
If someone said to you, like, what do you think the next big thing that's going to happen? It was like Tomorrow's World. And they were saying, we're going to look and see, what do you think the big thing that's going to happen next year is? Mass worldwide viral outbreak that causes everybody to stay in their houses. It's pretty fucking far down the list, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's far down.
Totally off the agenda.
It's far down the list for everything, really, isn't it? I mean, it's Jesus H Christ. I mean, you wouldn't really expect this for. No, I mean, well, no one expects that. It's like the Spanish Inquisition. Exactly, the Spanish Inquisition. Exactly. Nobody expects it. But
fucking nobody expects it.
But there it is. So yeah, we find ourselves in strange times.
Wild times.
And it's just wild. So yeah, and of course us 15% of the working population self-employed currently being shafted by any measures that are being taken.
Absolutely bummed by Big Bojo.
Mm-hmm.
But never mind. Who knows what's going to happen?
That's it. Nobody, essentially.
Yeah. It's just going to be chaos. But anyway, that cunt that owns Wetherspoons, he might be have a job, so that's good.
Yeah, he's always a right roaster, that boy. But
like, one thing is, though, it means that we're probably going to be able to record quite a lot of podcasts.
Well, that's it. This is the interesting thing. We sort of, so I mean, it's wild because I quite literally, have no work to do at all until who knows.
Same here.
It's just what I'll do is I'll probably do all my kind of social stuff once I can not be really depressed about stuff. And then, yeah, so like to the point that our old podcast, if anyone has ever crossed over that or came from there and has listened to this, recorded an episode for that on the Jane Silent Bob reboot, which will be coming out pretty soon. And we've decided to actually, we're just going to bring it back. Like, even the cat's the same. She's freelance. Fucking need work. We hadn't recorded an episode for over 500 days. We record one episode, and it's like, and then this happens, and we're like, well, maybe we'll record some more. We've got fucking nothing else to do. Exactly.
I'm actually really excited about that as well. Although I have to say, I was fucking belittled.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. Well, yeah, the hallucinogenics didn't help. To be fair, man.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe keep those off the next recording. And this is a very sensible podcast compared to that one.
Absolutely. That podcast just always descends into madness. So
Yeah. So
no way around it.
The drunk review coming up. Oh, I tell you what, some other bastards stole our name, but I'll maybe leave that for our next drunk review.
Shit.
Anyway,
right, well, we can talk about that next.
So where are we?
I've got one other before we go into the film. We will go into the film. I've got one other point of business.
Oh, okay.
A new friend of the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Quite an odd situation.
Right.
Made me feel nervous.
Uh-huh.
One of my colleagues at work.
Right.
Announced that he listens to the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mod. I work with him very, very closely. Have done for years.
Right.
And young Mod has now become Mod friend of the podcast.
How young is young Mod?
Oh, how young is young Mod? Mid-30s maybe?
Right, so just younger
He's
than
a
us.
lot younger than me.
He's not that much younger if he's mid-30s.
He's quite a lot younger than me.
What, like 6 years, 7 years?
I think of him as really young, but I think he's in his mid-30s.
Right, well, it's not,
anyway,
he's not
even
that
more
much.
disturbing. So
Okay.
he's saying that he actually really likes the podcast.
Uh-huh.
But he enjoys going to sleep with the podcast. Enjoys dozing off to us talking, and he's woken up in the morning with us still talking before. But even more disturbing than that, his girlfriend, Steph, who I also work with,
Right.
he's got her into it as well.
Okay.
And it transpires to listen to it in bed.
Oh, that's super sexy. we could become like the kings of AMSR or something.
ASMR. Oh, God, let's not go down the ASMR rabbit hole.
Hey, Maud. Are you ready for bed, Maud?
We start just putting subliminal messages in.
Oh, yeah. We should make an episode like 14 hours long, but like it ends after an hour. It's just like silence, and then just starts kicking in.
The thing is, I'm amazed he wasn't just dumped instantly the minute he played the podcast.
Yeah, well, she must be an understanding lassie.
Totally.
What does Maud do?
I'm glad they're on board. And they,
totally. Honestly,
they do. So we've now got 3 listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Friends of podcast Dave.
That's 4. No, maybe 5.
4 or 5. Oh,
We've got Dave. We've got Doc. We've got Billy. No, Hamish. That's 4. Chrissy P. That's 5.
Fucking hell.
It could be 7. We could be close to double figures, man. Whoa, come on.
Holy shit.
I
think Duke occasionally listens.
All right. Well, whatever.
Maybe if he likes the film or something.
Yeah. Or if he's just rampagingly bored.
Totally. Or absolutely hammered, blind drunk. Totally. I mentioned it earlier on in one of our group chats, but yeah, when he's at the stage of Martin Sheen at the start of Apocalypse Now.
That's when he gets in.
Naked, punching mirrors in hotel rooms in Saigon.
Yeah, once he's too bloodied up, he just puts on a bit of this guff.
Well, I'll tell you what, the sound of that cork getting twisted out of that bottle of whiskey has snapped me back into action.
Right. Oh, it's back in.
And shall we get on with the film?
Let's do it. What are we doing? Where are we?
We are this time, the last film in the chain was Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And we've linked into a film called Bliss, 2019.
This was originally meant to be a side mission, wasn't it? Because it was a suggestion.
It was going to be a side mission. So yeah, we should actually reference that. So yeah, Bobo Balti.
Great name.
Paul.
Great name.
Also, former colleague, absolute legend, Glasgow legend. And a friend of the podcast as well. Holy shit, we may actually be in double. Unbelievable. Yeah, so basically this is our first listener recommendation, really. Paul got in touch and was... this film was not on my radar at all. I'd never heard of it at all. Mm-hmm. And he got in touch on Twitter and was like, are you boys going to cover this? And so, yeah, decided to check it out. We said we would, and here we are. It's actually in the chain. It was going to be a side mission because it came out on Blu-ray in the UK very recently.
Yep.
We thought, okay, we'll side mission it. But actually, they directly reference the Lost Boys in it.
Yep, and we've got a bit of vampire action as well. So
bit of vampire action as well.
Which is amazing, to be honest. After you said, they reference the Lost Boys, I was like, that's quite a nice tenuous link. And then it's like, and it's also vampire?
It's actually about vampires.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah,
that
totally.
could be a slightly larger link, but that's all good.
Thematically linked, yes. So, yeah, Bliss 2019, directed by Joe Begos. Begos, I believe, not Begos.
Not Begos. Okay.
I'm going to go to, as always, I'm going to go to Letterboxd.
What does Letterboxd
Who
say?
knows what it'll turn up? I never read these before.
Oh, don't you? Oh, great.
No,
all
I
right,
don't
lovely.
check them out first now.
I'd be amazed if one day you opened it up and it just said, Cammie is a ball bag.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Film running 9 minutes. Cammie is a ball bag. Certificate 18.
As long as it's 89 minutes, I'd probably give it 2 thumbs up. So here we go. In need of creative inspiration, professionally stagnant and hard-partying Los Angeles artist recklessly indulges in a series of drug binges. As the narcotics fly out of control, so does her newfound, inexplicable yet unquenchable craving for blood.
Fair.
Yeah, that's pretty much bang on, isn't it?
Yep. Doesn't really reference other folk that kind of make her do it, though.
Yes.
It's not entirely drug based. I mean, she's like out of her tits, but it's. I mean, there are other people who are vampiric who kind of turn her that way.
Yes, it would seem so.
I've actually got a problem with that little synopsis.
It's missing something. Is missing something there.
It is. Yeah. Letterboxd need to be. One of these days, you need to actually contact them and say, like, well, how does this become the synopsis?
I have no idea, actually. I have no idea how it works.
You promised you said you were, and then you just never got back to me.
I know.
God, your broken promises.
I'll find out. I'll find out how it works.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I won't. I won't at all. So basically, we'll always have a little chat about what our first our first experience of these things, usually because they're old films. So yeah, I mean, it really was Paul put me onto this that led me down this route. Mm-hmm. Never heard of it. Never heard of Joe Begos before, and I have to say, it's actually the third time. I've actually watched it 3 times since Paul recommended it.
Really? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That is hard.
The other night I went to put it on with the commentary. One of the commentaries, 3 commentaries on disc.
All right.
Went to put it on with one of the commentaries and actually ended up just started watching it. And Marianne was in the room and she ended up watching it with me.
All right.
Yeah, so I just watched it straight through again. I did actually mean to watch it with a commentary, but I didn't actually get around to it. Did you know what were you expecting anything when you put this in? Did you?
I'm going to make a terrible admission. A terrible admission.
Yeah.
I had actually started watching this film before we decided we were going to do it, and turned it off after 5 minutes.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Because of the opening credits?
No, the opening credits would get you quite interested, and then you know what I'm going to say about this film, my reasoning behind it, I think it's vaguely justified, and I've seen some reviews that kind of tie in a little bit after watching it. It's not very good to start with, really. It's just a bit kind of, what is this big pile of horse shit? I think, I tell you, one of the other things, obviously it's shot on like 16mm.
Sure, 16 mil.
So
yeah.
it looks,
quite distinctive.
Looks like a massive scuzzy bag of balls to start with.
Yeah.
Which works with the film.
Yeah.
But I think whenever I put it on, it was probably like 11 o'clock at night, and I thought, I'll just try and watch one more film. I was like, I don't even know where the hell I watched it, but as soon as you mentioned it, it came back to me. And I said, I think I've had a go at that. And then when I put it back on, I was like, yeah, I definitely have tried to watch this. And I think it was just one of those things where I was probably looking for something a bit glossier or something, and it is scuzzy as fuck. It really is. Intentionally so, and it works really well. But if you're not ready for it, it can be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a lot of modern films.
No,
basically.
No, it does not.
No, at all. And so first time round watching this, I watched it on a muckle telly, and then the second time round I watched it on the projector. Third time round I watched it just on one of the TVs in the house as well. And it definitely, I mean, I can almost see where people are coming from about the start of this. I mean, part of the whole aesthetic of this film is why I really love it. I really like this film. It is super grubby, super like 16 mil.
Grainy as fuck.
It's got that look to it, grainy as fuck. It's clearly super low budget. The acting is... I think the acting is probably what throws a lot of people off to start with as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's part of the whole... I've got no problem with it. It really instantly reminds me of loads of the stuff that I love. Like Deadbeat at Dawn and Combat Shock, stuff like that. I'm always trying to get around to Combat Shock.
I'll cave at some point. I will cave.
Yeah. But that sort of grubby, lo-fi, punk, like, filming aesthetic, like, love it. Really love the sort of sparseness of the acting and stuff as well in this as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like it feels to me a lot like it's like kind of like Repo Man or something like that.
Yeah, that's
like
funny. That's funny you say that. It's like the acting really reminded me of Repo Man. It was that kind of. It's hard to describe that kind of acting. I don't really. It's sort of in reality,
it's not bad
but
acting.
completely
It's
unreality. And like, but no one's really doesn't. No one seems like they're acting. It just seems like they've got a bunch of. It's like they've got a bunch of their mates together and strung something together. But it's not to say the acting's bad. It's not bad. It's just I think people have been directed in that way to act that way, and it really works in the film because of the whole aesthetic of the film. If you had, if people were like acting, it wouldn't make sense. So God knows. I mean, I don't know any people in the film, but yeah, I mean,
no,
for me, the acting did.
Except for a couple of the old boys. One of the guys from Cheers is in it.
Oh fuck yes, so there is. That was a bit of a shock. I was like, hang on,
totally.
Hang on.
Wait a second. But yeah, I mean, the film definitely, like, if you're the kind of person that wants like a proper setup and a proper bit of direction from your film.
Yeah.
At the start, I don't mean in terms of directing the actual film, but I mean you want it to lead you down a path like here, this is where we are, this is what the story is. You're not going to get it. I mean, this is like you just sort of you drift into the story. Really, you're just sort of following. It seems aimless at first. Like what are we doing here? Why are we following her? What's going on? What's happening?
You're almost like a person that is actually
here?
Just observing more than watching, if that makes any sense. It's like a piece of nature. it's and
it's wild, and I like it. It's grubby as fuck, and when it does kick in, and when it starts to,
oh wow.
Whew,
I tell you what, I think I'm going to bring up one of these reviews that for me absolutely perfectly sums it up. Enduring the tepid, cliched drug spiral of the film's first half earns you the reward of bonkers practical horror effects, guts and gore set to epilepsy-inducing strobe effects and grimy punk music.
Yeah, it's pretty bang on.
Yes, as I say, when I first watched it, I kind of turned it off quite quickly. Watching it now, when I watched it for this, I was just obviously in more of a mood to get involved with the film and get it done. And let's go into this full force. Let's be positive. And actually, I've enjoyed it much more. Even the first 5 minutes, I actually kind of, it drew me in more. Whereas when I watched it the first time, it just pushed me away. And it is really, there's a lot of cliche drug bollocks in it. There's no question about it. And it really does seem like it was pulled straight out of the 70s and someone put made in 2019 on the front instead.
It does feel a bit like that, doesn't it? Although with better effects than you've got back then.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's talk about the effects, man. I mean, when the carnage kicks in, it's sort of almost hyper unrealistic, but still like gut-wrenchingly visceral. Oh my god! God.
Insanely gruesome, man. Insanely gruesome. Just like when that guy's neck, when she just snaps the guy's neck open. Holy fuck.
Oh, the fingers.
What?
Bite your fingers off. Shit. I know, you got the beautiful, massive sprays of blood from the fingers. That's kind of where the sort of the unreality part comes in. It's like, well, that guy looks like he's just... that's like his fucking carotid arteries just come out of his fingers. But it's amazing, though. It's fucking amazing.
But you know, I think the whole thing by the end of it is you're like, what actually has happened and what hasn't happened? What's been...
Totally.
What's real, what's not real?
I mean,
what's
by the end
like,
of it, by the end of the film, you're just like, what the fuck have I just watched?
What? Exactly. One of my notes I've written down is very 18. And I guess we'll get to it briefly when we do our slightly irrelevant BBFC.
Yeah, which we've not done for many episodes.
Not done for many episodes, but
it's probably pertinent here.
I mean, there's a lot of drug use. There's a lot of extremely graphic violence, and there's a lot of nudity as well.
Lots of nudity.
Lots of nudity.
Including a really, I've got to be honest, like a cracking looking threesome.
Oh.
It's like, wow, that looks fantastic.
Lots of beautiful people.
Well, it's like, oh, they seem just like...
Fun times.
Just like well into it, man. None of your kind of like porn threesome, just like, these guys are just like having a fucking great time.
Just having a laugh.
Yeah, just, well, I mean, obviously I'm too old for that now, but, you know.
You've been told for that for about fucking 20 years.
Oh, steady. I was 23,
the only ratings info in it. The only ratings info on the BBFC website is strong gory violence. But anyway,
fair play.
Yeah, what do you make of the actual aesthetic of the film? I mean, it's a hell of a like ode to Argento in this, I think.
Yeah, they've got the primary colours all over the shop.
Heavy duty primary colour vibe.
And it struck me immediately. I didn't even bother noting it down because so many people have done that now. To the point that it's like, I don't even know if they're riffing Argento. They might be riffing a director they saw that was riffing Argento. Fucking no idea anymore.
Who knows?
But yeah, I liked it. I think the whole thing looked great. But yeah, it is. It's. I mean, don't come in here expecting even a vague idea of gloss or sheen. It is gritty and grimy, and it's meant to be that way. And it's a wild look. I mean, for a film that was made then, like a fucking year ago. It's like, this is an insane looking film. It strips your eyeballs right off because it really throws you by how, and I like the fact that they've not like degraded it. It's like, no, we just shot it and it looks like that.
Yeah. I think it looks incredible. I love seeing that again. I mean, I know people sort of bemoan the sort of loss of 35mm as a format, but when we're watching stuff on like 4K projectors anyway in the cinema, there's no, I mean, digitally shot stuff can look as, looks as great as 35mm stuff. And I think a lot of people would actually be pretty hard pressed to tell the difference. When you actually go back and watch 16mm, you fucking see the difference straight away.
Do. Oh, yes.
You cannot miss it. And it's lovely. I mean, it's actually, and it's not the cheap choice that it used to be anymore to do it because, you're having to now pay.
I can't begin to imagine.
Probably more and more. And like there can't be that many places that are still processing 16mm film.
I mean, I was blown away that they found some to shoot it on. I was like, does that still exist? What the fuck? I mean,
yeah, well, the kit must still be kicking about somewhere.
I guess there'll be some guys
someone's making the stock.
There'll be somebody artisaning that shit. Like a weird coffee bean sort of house. It'll be some hipster fucker will be making that stuff.
Yeah, totally. I mean, well, like instantly, I want to know more about Joe Begos, and actually, he was just at Fright Fest.
Oh, was he actually there?
He was there. He actually came over. He came over.
Oh, I didn't know that.
To show his new film, VFW, I think it's called.
Yeah. If he'd been there, I actually might have made an effort to go and see that. Yeah,
he was there in person. Yeah, and in a sort of a massively badass move, apparently he brought a bottle of whiskey and just started like pouring shots at the front of the screen and started inviting anyone that wanted to come down and drink shots with them.
I'm going to be
down.
honest, with the history of that festival, that is a fucking bold move.
It is a bold move, man. I know. Fucking the police weren't called. There were no fist fights. I
No fights broke out. Lovely. No one passed
which
out.
is good. No one passed out. It's fucking tremendous. But yeah, I'd like to. And actually, VFW, he shot the same year as this. So he shot fucking two. Okay. Which VFW. I don't know when it's coming out over here properly, but
I hope soon, because I'm really excited to see it.
Well, I've got the Blu-ray on order from the States. I think it comes out next week.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, shit.
Yeah.
I'd come down and watch it for you, but we're all quarantined, so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we need to look into that. You could sit 2 meters apart from me and we could watch it.
I suppose we could. I'd like to hold your hand, though.
Oh, no, you do. I know. But we need to just be careful about that.
Okay.
What do you think about the music's pretty grubby in this as well, isn't
I
it?
fucking love the soundtrack. It's absolutely brilliant. It's like a wild mix of sort of fairly modern punk stylings and sort of techno thrash and fuck knows what. It's just it is absolutely. When the credits first come on, it's just like, it's just weird. I just don't get why this film didn't grab me when I first watched it. I must have been in God knows what I'd watched before, like maybe Forrest Gump.
That's probably your third film of the night and you were hammered.
Yeah, that would be it. I just thought, actually, I'm quite tired. Let's just put this away. But yeah, when it first comes on with the titles are fucking insanity. But the music is just like, yeah, and the music just keeps being that fucking bonkers, which I really love. It never kind of lapses into being score.
No, and man, I mean, the stuff that is scoring this is done by Steve Moore, who does loads of fucking great things as well, and actually who did the soundtrack for The Guest, which is fucking tremendous.
Yeah. But yeah, it never lapses into that kind of, you know what I mean, we're kind of lapsing into score, but it becomes like,
it doesn't ever go, it
always, it keeps up that
just sort of
vibe.
merges into one.
Yeah, keeps up that vibe of like
sort of like
madness.
Really sort of unnerving like vibe to the whole film, and it's sort of amplified by the music all the whole way through. It's great. And I mean, the scene when they go to the gig as well is great.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking like,
it's
so
like
good.
like a modern day Lost Boys.
Yeah. Oh man. No sexual saxing.
Well, I'll tell you what, the cat will be out of the bag because I've released the episode, but you probably won't know because I've just released it today that I used the cover version at the end of the podcast.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice one.
I listened to both of them, but I was like, oh, come on, you've got to put the cover version up, I guess, don't you?
You've got to. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Classic.
As Cormac was throwing a frisbee at my face, I'm trying to make that decision. Jesus Christ.
You should have got my small saxophone.
To be honest, man, I tried to take a bit of video, but it was a bit of a mess. But I was just like finishing off the last podcast. I thought I'll put that track on. I just started playing it, and it was amazing. Like Alexander just started sort of doing this kind of, as soon as it came on, he was like, both the shoulders were going. He was doing some like inappropriate hip movement. I was like, shit, get the phone.
Just getting down with the sax, man.
Get the phone. But I was a wee bit late to capture it properly. But I was just like, this beautiful. Which is part of our homeschooling curriculum, which is upon us now. Totally. We have creative dance at one point.
Oh, shit.
So Rachel's handling all the maths and English. I'm handling creative dance and throwing spanners at a wall.
You are good at throwing spanners at walls.
I am.
Classic. Well, I've started a film, home cinema course with Esme.
All right, we should trade what we're doing.
Yeah, we should. We watched the first film that we watched was the Garbage Pail Kids movie.
All right.
Yeah, which I think Marianne thought was maybe possibly inappropriate, but Esme quite liked. She liked the more bold humour involved.
Yeah, I told you. I remember renting that many times from remember that newsagent in Melrose High Street that also rented videos.
Yeah.
Like 50 pence for a night.
Yeah,
and it's like, classic. Shit. I mean, I rented it loads of times, and then I looked at the trailer after you posted that. I was like, God, it looks terrible. It's
really, really, the thing that's hilarious about it is that it's just, they've just got little people to be in the suits. It's fucking wild. It's totally.
Oof. Change days.
And in fact, well, we're veering wildly away from the film there. I actually got put onto that again by the new, like an old podcast, well, a long-running podcast I just discovered recently that's also from Scotland called Strong Language and Violent Scene.
Yes, I just downloaded a few episodes the other day, so I'm going to fill up some time with that.
You should do. Fucking tremendous. Anyone that listens to this, you should also check it out. A couple of Scottish
What's
lads.
it called again? Sorry.
Strong Language and Violent Scenes.
That sounds good to me.
Exactly, yeah. Talking just sort of, yeah, man, they're professional about their podcasting, though.
Oh, we're pretty professional, we're not.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've just got like so many episodes.
Well,
they've got many episodes and then proper episodes, and they've got guests.
Well, we could get a guest.
They've got live performances.
All right, fucking whatever. Fuck that
we'll
podcast.
Get there, though. I mean, they're quite far ahead of us in terms of, yeah, God. Anyway, worth listening to. Good laugh. And I have been keeping up to date with them, keeping in touch with them on Twitter since finding them, and explained that I was going to show my, in fact, it was Sam Ashurst from the Arrow video podcast that was on their show talking about the Garbage Pail Kids.
Surely we could get him. He can't be hard to get. He can't be hard to get.
Well, he lives in Scotland now as well.
Well, I don't want to run to my house, but
he's working up here apparently. Some horror film
I'm sure
company.
We could probably ask Kevin Smith. He'd probably say yes.
I probably would actually. We should do that.
We should just actually ask people instead of like not.
Tarantino, we'll ask Tarantino.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. But anyway, right. So okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to tie off. We're going to round off a little bit about Bliss. There was a couple of things I want to get out of there.
Go for it.
So. Yeah, we're not really going into the story. It's a new film, so people should go and see it. I don't really want to spoil anything about it.
That's true. Actually, usually on the chain we are pretty spoiler heavy, but I think it'd be unwise because this is.
I just don't want to go. I don't want to get into spoilers.
It's too fresh.
It's a cool film. It's fucking but it looks, despite it being shot in 16mm or because of that aesthetic, but it still looks fucking lovely. Shot in LA, LA famously where Hollywood started because of the quality of the light. It looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The light is beautiful the whole way through. Everything that's shot outside looks incredible. Some great locations as well, and shitloads of driving stuff, which I just flicked over onto the commentary for a little while. Nearly gave myself a heart attack. I'm a location manager, or ALM as well, and they were saying that they didn't have permission for any of the driving stuff, and they were just driving about with the camera mounted on the front, and they were amazed that they didn't get stopped. I know what goes into getting proper permission for these things to have camera mounts and stuff, and fair play to those guys, because there's a lot of driving stuff in this. I was like, this must be all low-loader stuff.
Just saying that, like in LA, that probably might just go unnoticed.
Well, you'd think so, but who knows? God. But yeah, loads of that stuff's really cool. It just looks cool as fuck. This film just looks cool as fuck. I fucking love it. It's great. And what else? Did I have anything else in my note? I liked it when the camera went upside down when they go to the gig. That was quite good.
Yeah, I just liked all the breasts.
There were a lot of breasts in it. And I think that Joe Begos must have been fucked up in his time.
Yeah, he's had a few pints, no question about it.
Yeah.
But
also, the painting gave me a bit of a Beyond vibe.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the painting just very briefly. It is so the kind of vibe is as the film progresses, also a painting that the main lass is painting kind of progresses as the film gets more fucked up and she gets more fucked up, and it just ends in this really stunning looking thing. I mean, it really I know nothing about art. I'm a kind of person, if I see something I like, then that's fine, but I couldn't tell you why I like it. But the way the painting kind of progresses is like really, really cool, and it's really in line with the film, and it's it's a real bit of art, that, but I really, really enjoy how they tie the two things together there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool plot device.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. And yeah, just actually, I mean, I'd love to have a print of that final thing, because for me, it was just like, wow, this is, especially as you see the things progress, it's like the final thing's like, this is fucking brilliant. I love it. Give me that. Can I have that? Maybe a bit smaller. I don't think I've got a strong enough wall to contain the size of that thing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a beast.
It is.
It's a beauty, though. It's absolutely better.
Yep.
It's a
Loved it.
Anything else you want to pick up on before we move on?
Not really. The strangest part for me is, slightly. Actually, no, because we'll leave that to the next section. Continue, sir.
Great. Okay, grand. Well, that's it. Shall we give it a thumbs up rating?
Yep.
It's going to be quite easy for me.
Yep.
The other thing that we failed to mention all the way through this is that it is 80 minutes long.
Lovely.
80. 80.
None of your drink that in. Not a one in front of that. Just
80 minutes.
Boof. That's including credits.
Yeah, I fucking love it. I completely took me by surprise. I had no idea what I was getting into when Paul recommended it, and I am extremely glad that he did, and I'm even more glad that we managed to tie it into the actual main chain. It is a cracker. It's not going to be for everyone. I can understand why people wouldn't like it, but if you're a fan of indie cinema and sort of transgressive indie cinema, you will enjoy it, I think. If you're an old punk and you like a bit of Repo Man, or you're just into your sort of grimy, old school, low budget horrors, then give it a watch. It ticks all the boxes.
I'd agree with that
for me, and for me, it's 2 thumbs up.
Yep. I'm going to go for my double thumb rating. 1 thumb up, because I fucking loved it. For all the reasons you've said. I can't think of anyone I know that wouldn't be into this film. And a 2nd thumb up, because I will definitely watch it again. No question about it.
Classic. Well, I've watched it 3 times.
Well,
and I'm going to watch it again.
So,
I will watch it again.
Like about 14 thumbs up from Cammie. So that is...
one of those thumbs isn't my thumb.
Oh, damn. But it has a nail in it. Awfully weird.
It does. It's odd.
It's like a Henenlotter film. Like
I was born that way. It's fine.
Yeah, pure Henenlotter madness.
Excellent. All right. Well, now that we've finished talking about the film, shall we talk about the disc?
Well, you can. Yep, sure.
Okay.
Is that the new theme tune?
Blue, blue. It's the Blu-ray reviews. Yeah. Blue. It's the Blu-ray reviews. Yeah. Blue. It's the Blu-ray reviews. Yeah. Blue. It's the Blu-ray review.
Okay. Right. Okay. So this is more interesting than usual. Not that look, I don't know what I'm talking about. We're always interesting. It's always fascinating.
Fair
and when
play.
we get into the disc chat, some people even fast forward to the disc chat.
No.
They're just here for that. I don't know who they
honestly,
are. But
if that was a real thing, I'd stop doing it. It's like, honestly, what a sparse life.
God. Well, I'll tell you what. So the film has not long been released in the UK. Mm-hmm. Very exciting for me. Lots of the things about this release.
Okay.
On Blu-ray.
Right.
So it was released by, I don't know if it certainly didn't get a mainstream cinema release in the UK. I think it played some of the festivals.
Yeah, probably.
Released by Eureka over here.
Yeah.
Eureka, there's about 4 or 5, maybe more than that, boutique Blu-ray houses at the minute in the UK that are just fucking knocking it out of the park. Absolutely knocking it out of the park in terms of lovely editions of things. One of them being Eureka, who cover all sorts of films, all sorts. Yep. But this is brand new, just came out, and I bought it. I pre-ordered it day one. It was here for me, and brand new, $12.99.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
For the special edition. Special edition coming with a O-ring sleeve, which is lovely. A sort of matte effect, but shiny. I'm not really that fussed about the slip covers, but it's a very nice one. And also a booklet inside, which is a nice little touch.
What's in the booklet?
The booklet has a bit of chat from Joe Begos. It's also got, I think I'd texted you before to show you the how to watch this film.
You definitely didn't text me.
I didn't text you.
How to watch this film? No, you never show me that unless I was...
Viewing notes. Haven't I told you about this?
I don't think so.
Right at the back. Amazing. You love this, John. Special note. Any motion smoothing settings, such as pure motion and motion flow, should be switched off.
Yeah.
So the film can be viewed as intended.
I mean, to be fair...
Many factory default settings are neither suitable nor desirable.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair play. But I've got to be honest. I mean, if anyone reading that who hasn't taken them off their viewing screen will have no idea what that guy's talking about.
No, that's true. But it also tells you about the aspect ratio and how it should be set up for your system if it's not displaying it correctly, which is nice.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, just like a little, it's got a couple of little essays in it, and an interview with Joe Begos. Yeah, it's just a lovely little package. Love it.
Just like yours.
Yeah, little being the operative word, but yeah. So that was the special edition. The standard edition, which came out at the same time, so I think that was limited to 1,000 copies.
All right, cool.
Maybe. And it sold out.
Good.
Which is great for
yeah.
Eureka. The standard version, unbelievable bargain at $11.99.
Yeah.
$11.99. I will. Now, the interesting thing here is here we watched it on different formats, so I'll let you get into that in a second. But I will just say that the Blu-ray for this is absolutely lovely. It is Region B encoded. It wouldn't play when my machine was set up to play Region A. I had to switch it. It looks as lovely as the film's ever going to look. I mean, it's 16mm, obviously. So it looks grainy as fuck, but I would say that there is there's like no flaws or anything at all in it, really.
No flaws other than the ones that were there to start with.
Exactly, yeah. There's no, I mean, obviously the print's as lovely as it can be. There are three commentaries.
Right.
Commentary with the director and the main actress, a commentary with two film historians from the Daughters of Darkness podcast, and a commentary with the producer, the director, and the special effects guy.
The Daughters of Darkness podcast, that sounds quite good.
It does sound good. I might have to check that out.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There's also a deleted scene and a trailer. I did look at the deleted scene. I was possibly quite hammered at the time and don't recall what it was.
Don't be daft.
But yeah, I mean, I would thoroughly recommend it. Absolutely lovely. And as I have said countless times, I like to support the manufacturers the distributors directly. So I bought this directly from Eureka. Don't buy this from Amazon, folks. They're going to completely destroy everything for everybody. Give your money directly to the people that are going to keep putting out lovely editions of lovely things for you to watch.
But speaking of Amazon,
well, in a roundabout way. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we thought we'd do an interesting... we thought we'd do something a little bit interesting here because the film is also available to stream. Is it via Amazon or is it through Shudder?
It's through Shudder. Yep.
Through Shudder.
So the deal with Shudder, I mean, right. Now, when Shudder are basically a horror streaming film service.
Yeah.
When I first heard of them, I think it was possibly through a Facebook ad or something. And when they first come out, they were about to launch. It was like, oh, you can get a month free if you chuck us your email address. So I was like, I'll have a look at that. And this is, I was trying to figure out how many years ago it was, and it is a lot of years ago. I mean, it's 5, if not more. So I'll sign up to that, see what it's all about. So got the free trial through, and it was just fucking horrendous, like awful, minging, dreadful. There was no apps at all, so you basically had to either watch it on your laptop or your phone. There was no kind of in between there. And if you know me, I don't do either of those things, because if I'm going to watch a film, unless I'm in unless I'm being confined in like a plane for 14 hours, I won't go near it.
Or a train or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I've never watched a film on a train.
Oh, I have.
I've not.
For this podcast.
I know you have, but it's like, for me, it's like, no, 4 hours, I'll find something else to do. So I think when you initially mentioned it and the Blu-ray was coming out, and I, for some reason, found out it was going to be streaming exclusively in Shudder. And so the deal with them is they have various apps, but they don't have a smart TV app, which is pretty shit.
It's almost unbelievable. I mean,
for a company that's been going that long,
there's a
streaming films is like, what?
There's basically, do you know what I mean? You do an app that works on Sony TVs, Samsung TVs, and you've got the majority covered then.
Yeah.
LG, Panasonic, you've got basically everybody fucking covered.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It can't be that difficult. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. That's a stupid thing to say. It could be really difficult. But at the same time, there's no PlayStation 3, no PlayStation 4 app. Although they do have an Xbox One app, which I find really weird. So the other thing you can do, they have an app that you can download to an Amazon Fire Stick. To be honest, I was getting so confused. I thought I kind of wanted that 30-day trial, but the 30-day trial was through their system. So if I'd subscribed to that, they have a thing on Amazon. So Amazon Prime Video has a Shudder. You know, Amazon Video has, you can subscribe to Arrow stuff on Amazon. You get the Arrow channel. Okay. So I don't know what that platform is, but anyway, Shudder have got one. And I was like, well, I'm not going to fuck around trying to figure out how to get that through my projector, because I know I can get Amazon through my projector. So I just signed up for the 7-day trial of Shudder and watched it via that. A very long-winded thing, but to be honest, if you're thinking about Shudder, and Dave signed up for the 30-day trial and was immediately, how the fuck do you watch this?
Friend of the podcast, Dave, he couldn't actually work out how to watch it.
Which is fair enough.
Which is totally fair enough.
Because if you sign up for something like that, and I mean, there should be, to not have an app on the TV is fucking bewildering. To not have an app on a fairly heavy used media streamer like the PS4 is fucking bewildering. To have an app on the Xbox One is fucking bewildering, because no one's got a fucking Xbox One. Apart
well, all the kids have, but not the adults.
Fuck the kids. Are they going to sign up for a Shudder account? I don't think so.
No, exactly, I know.
So absolute insanity. So I turned to the devil and just went full Amazon. And, you know, Amazon, I never buy my Blu-rays or anything through Amazon, but as a wedding videographer, when you're like massively ill prepared, as I am most of the time, you can get something delivered the same day. So it's like, you know.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore. Corona.
Oh, I know, because, man, shit, fucking, anyway. Yeah.
So I watched this, and I think one of our biggest bugbears through everyone in our kind of horror chat group was, what is the quality? And they top out at 720p. So I can't really give an accurate review of the picture quality because A, it's shot in 16mm, which is scuzzy as fuck, and B, 720p. It's like, I'm trying to think, if that was 1080p, would it and I didn't have a reference source. So it was like, All I'll say about it, as Shudder goes, is it was almost 100% artifact free.
Oh, that's good.
Apart from the opening titles, which were a mess.
Oh, God.
But
it's kind of unacceptable in this day and age, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I just don't know if they're just running it through...
they're running it through someone's Commodore 64.
Just a general system, It's like, let's put one film in here, we'll apply whatever the fuck we want to... Well, probably just one thing they've got. Because, I don't know, I guess the file... I couldn't even see what the bitrate was, because like in Netflix, you can actually...
Yeah, you press the button, it shows you the bitrate,
you could do that in this. So...
Oh, God.
So I have no idea. All I'll say is, man, the jury is out on Shudder, and I cannot believe, after all this time... When I first got it, they were streaming entirely SD.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're having a fucking laugh.
A fucking laugh, yeah.
And so I immediately cancelled my subscription. And then, 5 or 6, 7, I have no idea, like a whack onwards, 720p. They're topping out at 720p.
It's not acceptable.
It's absolute insanity, man.
I mean, this day, everybody has a minimum like 1080p TV.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? If anyone buys a new TV now, they're likely to probably be buying a 4K TV.
Because they've got no choice.
Yeah, because that's all that's available.
Yeah. And
that's
720, you're HD ready. That's what you are, guys. You're HD ready. Remember that? HD ready?
Jesus, old school, that little sticker there, HD ready.
Yeah,
Jesus. God.
I mean, 720p can actually, it can be a really decent format. But, 6 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, no. It's unacceptable.
Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity.
Shit, man, the new fucking PS5 and Xbox Series X or whatever the fuck they've got themselves into a real muddle with their names. Xbox.
The Xbox One was the third generation?
Yes.
Xbox One.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. They now, both of those are now saying that they can deal with 8K output.
Yeah, but no one else can.
No, but yeah, the whole point being that actually they're not going to output that, but it means they can output 4K at 120 frames a second or whatever, which actually is relevant when you're playing a game in terms
that's
of
fair enough. Yeah.
pressing buttons.
Yeah,
but still, we're now talking about 8K ready consoles. While Shudder are talking about basically the first step off from fucking VHS from DVD.
Yeah, it's like you sort of leapt from SD.
Oh, it's DVD 480p.
480. So you basically leapt from DVD onto the cliff of 1080, but just you tripped.
Yeah.
You fell down